Can I please have a roll call at this time?
Mr. Andres?
Here.
Mr. Bickerton? Mr. Delo is absent. Ms. Good? Present. Mr. Hyman?
Present.
Ms. Warren Konjeski? Present. Ms. McKean? Present. Mr. Snowden?
Here.
Ms. Stetler? Here. Mayor Hamilton?
Present.
Chief Madgar?
Here.
Elizabeth Ellis?
Here. Okay, at this time I need an action to approve the October 14, 2025 council meeting and October 28, 2025 work session minutes. Thank you. Thank you. Todd seconds that. Okay. Any questions or concerns? All right, moving forward with a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, action carries. Treasurer's report.
On the report, it had Q1 and Q2 revenues for the pool house. Q3 was 7,775, 7,775. So it's gone up. Well, Q3 was Q2 and Q1 total, more than total. So it's going in the right direction. And I don't know if anybody noticed, but on the Boro account balances under capital projects, that's when Andy was on the phone call last time. He said we were moving 500 into that, so that's what that is. That's taken out of the general fund and put down there. So all in all, we're ahead moving where we wanted to be. So we're padded for the drive.
It's amazing when a plan works, right? Can't deny facts. All right. Moving forward, review invoices and authorization to pay bills. Okay, that's good. Amy, thank you. Any questions or concerns? Comments? No? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, action carries. All right, this time, public participation, you have 3 minutes. If you want to speak, please stand, state your name and the ward that you live in. Anybody? Sure.
Elaine Kretschmar, Ward 2. I apologize for my voice. I'm feeling under the weather, so I'm going to try to keep myself over here. But I've emailed my questions to both the Finance Committee, I hadn't heard back, and also my Ward 2 Representative Robert Bickerton, which I hadn't heard back. So hopefully those questions will be answered at the presentation of the draft 2026 budget. Because again, like you, people in the public, we've come to actually hear about the budget, and a presentation would be probably too much to ask, but just something where we have the basic ideas of what the budget looks like, what our reoccurring costs are, what our one-time capital costs are, things like that. And I've also emailed the borough manager and I CC'd the mayor about my concerns about the poor communication for this year's Veterans Day parade, so I hope he covers that in his borough manager report. Thank you.
Any others? Okay, let's move on to our commissions and authorities, the Beaver County Regional Council of Governments.
I have nothing to report. There was no official minutes to the last meeting. They did have the 911 emergency center. And my last official act will be on December 17th. We have our Beaver County Regional Council of Governments Christmas party. So that should be good for me on the COG and on this council. So.
Any questions? All right, Planning Commission.
Sean, do we have any update on the sign ordinance that they've been beavering away on?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
I do under the report.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
good. Under the President report. All right. Tree Commission. Anything from the Tree Commission? All right. Code enforcement.
You have my report. Do you have any questions?
Any questions? All right, the Historic Architectural Review Board. Municipal Authority.
Well, the only thing there is, I spoke to Pat Sims prior to the meeting, that knowing Mr. Delo would be here, so they're going to have some names for us. They're interviewing 4 candidates next week, going over some different things with them, and they're going to have 2 openings, and they're hoping to get us names for our December meeting for council approval. For council approval, so the municipal authority can continue to function, and they
two of us resigning. Yeah.
Did I correctly read that the decision on the litigation has been finalized?
Bridgewater?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any way that we can post anything about that on our website? I have a number of friends down in Bridgewater, who live in Bridgewater. They had no idea this was going on. They had no idea that all their tax dollars were going for all these legal fees. So I just wondered if we need to do at least some public education on this.
I think those people from Bridgewater should go to their meeting
Yeah.
and ask for that.
Absolutely, but
I think, Margaret, I had mentioned it to the municipal authority. I think, I'm hoping with the new board that comes on, what I'd like to see, and I've mentioned it the last couple of years, I'd like there's a lot of infrastructure projects going on over the hill, they're gonna spend a lot of money, and I think that there should something go out to all customers and saying, hey, we're doing these projects, FYI, we're only charging you guys X amount of dollars and your bill's doubled. We don't know where that other half's going, but we're not charging you that. So there's, I don't know if you got a chance to read the ruling, it's.
no, I just saw the
Yeah.
announcement, and I'm not saying that we should, brag or blast it.
No, but the fact,
The rooftops, but people down there are completely on, most of them are completely on.
Yes,
We can bring that up at our next meeting.
yeah,
I'm talking about the municipal authority meeting.
Oh, okay.
yeah, I'd like that,
Okay.
if anything.
The decision is a public record.
Right, but come on, Darren.
Well, what I'm saying,
You can read all of that, but, the average citizen is not poring over these things.
it's, I wanna say it's an 18-page written decision. But it's a public record, so to the extent it wants to be put out there, there's nothing stopping anyone from.
Oh, I wasn't saying put the whole record out there, I'm just saying that, a Reader's Digest summary and maybe tie it into the infrastructure projects that we're doing, just so people are aware.
That's a good point. We'll talk about
Okay,
it.
thank
next
you.
meeting.
The other thing though too, which is good news for the borough, when we talk about, I was gonna bring it up later, I'll bring it up now. One thing we were gonna, that was good news that came out of this, we got the permit back from Columbia Gas, because initially there was a holdup after we spent, $40,000, 20 of borough money, 20 of municipal authority in reference to putting the gas line in, which we would save the borough tens of thousands of dollars between the two groups each year on heating and everything else. And, Bridgewater signed off on the permit allowing, so we don't have any litigation on that topic. So at least that got resolved, and we're waiting to hear from the PUC to continue our project.
Thank you.
Anything else? All right, pool committee.
The trivia night was canceled. We are having a meeting this Monday, December 1st, with virtual pools is doing a presentation. I believe Ms. Majeski from the Recreation Chair is also going to be at that meeting to discuss stuff, and it will talk about last official things. I'm the pool committee liaison from this council, so that will be my last official act with the pool committee too, and the next council should look at putting a new liaison to be on the pool.
Thanks, Alex, for all your work. Thank you.
How did the purgatory thing go?
It was pretty good. So, yeah, we had, Peggy and I was up there, the Kretzmeyers were there, we had Frank Bobolino was there, so the one night was pretty good, and it was, I don't think they made a great deal of money from it, but I think they did get a little bit from it, so it was just a nice event.
All right. Fantastic. Council committees, finance.
Hi, everybody. So you've had the 2026 budget for the break that we were on, and open the floor to any questions.
For the updated fee schedule, Rebecca, are the golden things I was on gone up?
Or have been added or changed.
Yes.
Yeah, in your packet, you have a easy-to-read final summary of just the 2026 budget, and then the fee schedule that has been updated with proposed new numbers for the next year. To Becca and Whitney's point, what's in bold is new or change from years past. But yeah, any questions?
This is really more, I guess, a question for Rick. Do you think on the last page, under residential rental registration for the base fee's $275, the additional re-inspections are $65. Do you think if we raised that, we would have fewer re-inspections?
I would pass that on to Martin Ferriosi. He's the rental registration officer.
Seems like we have a lot, so I was just wondering if maybe charging more would be an incentive for landlords not to go through that process.
Yeah, so what we have, well, I'll cover it. Under the fee schedule, on one of them that's gonna go up, the range is gonna be from 50 to 200. Well, matter of fact, Debbie, you're here, you wanna speak to that, that's what's.
Oh, yeah.
That's for the late fees. We're wanting to add the late fees onto that, because last year we had 177, owners pay late. So, we're hoping that will make an incentive for them to pay early. But back on your question, I mean, we could ask Martin that, but, I mean, an inspection is every other year, so, you know, it could be where they didn't get something done, or, you know, they're not getting it done, they don't wanna get it done. I don't know the reasons why, we really have to ask Martin on that. to
It
see.
might be worth asking.
Yeah.
Seems like we have a lot of them, and maybe it's incidental things, but
Yeah,
that doesn't seem like very much of a financial incentive for them to
yeah. Okay.
make do on that.
You can ask him, sure.
All right. Any other questions, comments? Okay, we'll be voting on the budget here in a little bit. Just one more time, any questions or comments? We'll move on. General government?
I didn't have a report, but I also wanted to say that the Boro has been wonderful as far as getting the leaves and keeping the community looking very nice and neat. So thank you to the Boro employees.
Pass that along. Yeah, they are, they're putting a lot, and you know what, they're doing what you see with 4 guys. You know, Chris retired, we never replaced Chris, and we had, Brian, he's the one who went over the hill on the 0 turn and got banged up, so he's scheduled to come back here, we're hoping in the next few weeks, but these guys, they did all the Christmas lights, they assisted Vanport with their stuff, I mean, so these guys have been putting
Even with the weather the way that
Yeah,
it's been, they're still out there.
well, and they're ready for light up night, you know, they do everything, so they're putting the time in, they're getting it.
I thought it was nice too, we had everything ready for Veterans Day, and as soon as Veterans was over, they started on the Christmas lights. It was-
Yeah, Brent, those guys, we're fortunate that we have a crew that, you know, they weld, they do concrete, they do the trivial stuff to keep the town the way it does the leaves, so we're fortunate that we have a skilled force that works together, and, I'll pass that, we'll make sure, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, highways.
There's going to be a motion for paving.
Any questions about that? We can talk about that. Public safety code enforcement.
I do. I'll make a motion, next meeting, to go Rob Terry from patrolman to corporal.
And recreation.
Other than light up night coming, and I'll be working with the chambers, so come on down and see us.
Good job. All right, going to the reports manager, secretary report, and police chief.
So I'll cover on the fee schedule, these are the ones that are gonna go up, with Lisa and Colette, and some of them were off previous, we've been missing some of the council meetings, the way the calendar fell. So the commercial tenant permit's gonna go from 150 to 200, the fence permit's gonna go from 75 to 100, concrete permit is 175 to 200. These are bolded in the budget, but I just wanted to put them so they're out there and in the record. The replacement yard and leaf waste permit, so if somebody loses their permit, they're only paying for the card, it's $15. A firework display permit, where they have to provide bonds, insurance, and so on, that processing is $100. A demolition permit is gonna be taken from 150 to 200, and the rental registration is maybe covered, the payment of the late fee is gonna range from 50 to 200. Garen's worked with the staff on this, so these fall within the range, and they're just being upped a little bit just to cover the administrative end of Light Up Night, everybody knows this Friday, the businesses open at, or the parade begins at 6. The function itself begins at 5. Fireworks are going to be at 8:30. They bumped them up because they were losing a lot of people due to weather and young children being out so long. Ken, you want to add anything on the closures and different things?
I have Brent putting out the road close signs. We're suggesting like 3:45. That way, when we shut the road down, it gives us 45 minutes or so we can get it completely clear and have a little bit of time beforehand to have everybody in position before the 5 o'clock start. Now, obviously, it's businesses are open and everybody's doing their thing. We're not going to just rush people completely out. But if we figure if it's posted at the actual time, it's easier whenever we do like we did for the Veterans Day, where we can cone off the entire town the night before, and then the businesses in the morning, people can still kind of move the cones and get in and everything like that, but then most of the cars are completely gone. This is something where you have a whole business day, and there's going to be everybody finishing up their business, and so we have to be patient. That's why we're saying that time to give us the time to try and get like everybody who's finishing their meals, finishing their shopping and everything out. But it'll be right around 3:45 to 4 o'clock whenever we shut the roads down, and then we'll give it about 20 minutes to half hour, and then we'll start going door to door for the people having.
I think people need to realize too, when you say just shut, it's not like we just flip a switch. To shut the whole town down and lock traffic, even having 10 or 12 guys working on that, working together, still takes a minimum of a half hour. That's on a good day. It could take up to an hour. Try it by the time you get it. And if the state has a permanent load coming through, we have to delay that. If county has a hot ambulance call where you can't send an ambulance on the back street, then the town's gridlocked. They can't get anywhere. So there's a lot of factors that people aren't aware of in locking the street down. Shut the main street down. Well, there's a lot of logistics to do that. Your back street, so it's kind of a leapfrog approach. We start and we try to push everything down. So it does, but it do a good job. The guys know what they're doing when they're pulled together. Small Business Saturday is, of course, this Saturday 10 to 5. Also, Amy and Todd, you guys were bringing up numbers, something. The TV series, guys had the detail today. They're going to be back again Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. A lot of that, some of the revenue that you saw in the budget, they've been billed a little over $40,000 so far, and we've spent 20. So there's been a lot of, pretty generous to work with. So the borough did very well as far as the pool house and billing on the labor hours of the officers working and just different things that they've done. They made some donations to bands and churches, the high school band, for not having practice because they couldn't film.
They had practice, it wasn't out on
Right. So they're good to deal with, and my understanding is they're really happy with this, and that they're also trying to look at some other pilot programs, specifically here in town, Beaver, Brighton Township, this little hub. So it's good stuff. It brings some commerce to town, and they've been utilizing a lot of the restaurants and different businesses. So it's been good. They've been great to work with, and they're very prompt on their payment. So collects on them when they get it done. So nighttime parking enforcement will end on December 15th. Alex, you're in the clear, December 15th.
Good to know.
So December 15th.
We'll be losing a lot of revenue.
Yeah. So also too, Sean, this would be your call. If the budget gets approved at the December 9th because of advertising, Rebecca has to get it in first thing, tomorrow, so on. Just so people know, the December work session for the 23rd will be canceled then, just so there's enough notice. A lot of people will be traveling. We probably might not even have enough to have it. So, as Bob discussed, turn yard waste. The yard waste is going to be closing. We usually close it at the beginning of December, so we're going to close the yard waste. We're going to wait till the end of the year, hoping we get a little warmer weather just for people to do what they do. But there's some complaints. People say, "Well, I have my pass. Why can't I use it?" The guys have to tub grind with Brighton Township's equipment, a partnership that we have. We run the sweeper for them. They tub grind for us. There's no money exchange. It's just an exchange of services and labor. But it takes the guys that long to get that area cleaned up. They don't do it every single day. They try to do it on unlimited staffing, weather dependent. So it's gonna take our guys that long, but also it takes a period of time too to reset those cards. So as people pay, their cards will be reset. And prior to us having to secure a dump area, or they don't like when we use the word dump, the recycling area, we started off with 400 and some odd permits, that they would issue out, and I think it was a little over 700 permits. So went up that type of increase. That's how many people were kind of just sliding in and out. So it's worked out good. That was covered under a grant that we got. So it's working out. So the reorganization meeting would be Monday, January 5th. Monday, January 5th is the reorg meeting. So for Jared, Lincoln, whoever else, I know there was an email floating around. We just wanted to make sure everybody has the right date. So it's Monday, the 5th. The big thing is the time is 7:30. And the reason being is Karen, everybody has to reorg that day, and Karen's going to be running around the
I
county.
think it'll be maybe my third meeting that night, so.
Yeah. So again, I don't want anybody to show up at 6:30 or 7 at doors locked, so the meeting's at 7:30 that day. Signage ordinance, Margaret, on to what you would have. So the signage ordinance, the proposed updates from the planning commission are done. They're being sent over, and we're gonna start the review process with council. What we're trying to get now is, what was it, a 30 or 40 page document, pretty well,
Yeah,
pretty thick, but what we're trying to do is what revisions were made, what was our current, and so we get the revisions, so you don't have to try to match them up. We're trying to get that from the group that assisted. So once we get that, we'll get it out to council and the new council. That'll be something for them to pick up on. So we got that going. Other than that, just to finish up, since the last meeting, we had 3 additional requests on the right to know. It's only 100 pages, doesn't include the stack that Aaron has there. We'll continue to process and do what we're supposed to do, and we still have some pending. So we're doing the best we can with that, and I'll keep everybody updated. That's it.
Dan, are we having a year-end council or government sort of holiday event this year?
Yeah, good point. Email go out the December 12th. That's the networking with the communities, the school district, and all the partnerships with the different boards. So this December 12th. Yep. And since you brought that.
I'm sorry,
No.
what time?
Noon, yeah. Yeah.
Where?
The standard. Last thing, and this was just a side note, we try to project with, the cost and kind of a moving target with pension and different things. One thing I saw and I read last night, that's a moving target, is everybody sees that the electricity cost is going up. So Duquesne Light's going up, 10% as of Monday, and it just went up, I think in June, it went up 10 or 12%. So it's 20 some odd percent. The last I checked with Collector, going over the numbers, we spend anywhere $60,000 to $70,000 a year just in street lights. So what does that do just to that section of the budget? Doesn't include the lights in the parks and the buildings. So again, right out of the gate, we approved the budget, and we're gonna be already over in that line item. There's nothing anybody did wrong. It's just moving target of our utility bills. And, anyway, that's it. That's all I got.
Any questions? Matt?
Yeah, the other thing was previously mentioned, I support the motion that Bob Bickerton has this to promote Officer DeGory. He was already took the test.
Turian.
Excuse me, Officer Turian. So I think that's the right thing to do. And, I have nothing else to report.
Any questions? All right. President's report. Again, I was able to participate in the Veterans Day Parade, and I thought it went really well. It was really cold. Appreciated the people who were out, but most of all, appreciated our workers, our police officers, providing a safe environment for everyone. And I thought the event went very, very, very well. So thank you to all of our borough workers for the work that they did for that event. And that is an event that's run basically by the county, but there's a lot of things that fall on our shoulders with that. So it's just an honor for the county to think of us, and I think Beaver Falls is the only other town that hosts this event. So anyway, yeah, I thought it went really well. So that's all I have. Solicitor.
Nothing for this evening.
All right, moving on to our motions, payment to young, oh, go ahead.
Mr. President, one thing, we'd be remiss,
Oh, I forgot.
let you bring it up.
So, before we get into the motions, and I meant to do this at the beginning of the meeting, and unfortunately, I forgot. So, this past week, we learned of the passing of our former solicitor, Mr. John Petrish. Mr. Petrish, served on council for many years, served as our solicitor for how many years?
I bet you combined 50, I'm guessing,
Yeah.
combined,
Yeah.
between council, solicitor.
And he was very passionate about our town, passionate about serving on council as a council member or as our solicitor. And at this time, I would like to have a moment of silence in honor of Mr. John Petrish. Thank you. Mayor?
Well, I can just add to that, I served with him in his capacity as solicitor. He was quite a good advocate of our town and put a lot of service in prior to that. He was on council for many, many years, but in reality, I think the only two solicitors that I can remember are Norman Falk, which was on there a long time ago, John Petrish and Garrett. You're like the third solicitor. So that was a long stretch of continued service by these solicitors.
It was a piece of work, you could ask him a question, and he could just, he'd say, give me a minute, and he'd think, and then he'd rattle off, and like, he was like a little notebook.
He took over when Norman Falk retired and moved to Arizona. He resigned council and became our solicitor at that time. So I don't know how many years, but it was quite a few years.
Ned, you got the pleasure of dealing with him over the course of the time. He was with different things over the years. He was
Once or twice.
I remember the one time, for those who remembers, he came into the Christmas meeting dressed as Santa Claus. Remember that? You remember that, Mayor? He came in dressed as, yep. He came in with his hat.
I remember going to his office with Mr. Sprecher about the chicken ordinance.
Oh,
The chicken ordinance. He had that all together. He had an ashtray there with a mountain of cigarette butts in it.
The thing I remember, and I'll stop here, but I remember most about him is I worked Sunday daylight for several years, and on Sunday, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, he'd be at his office. And he called it his quiet time until I would interrupt his quiet time. Because I didn't see him in there, but I'd have questions. I was young and learning the job on, I have a court case. Well, back then, you either figured it out or you asked one of the older guys and they tell you don't bother me. So I would stop there with my case folder and I'd say, I gotta pick your brain, and I'd lay it out and he'd say, all right, this is this and that, and different things. And then it became, if I'd see his lights on, I wouldn't stop because I didn't want to bother him. But then the next time I saw him, he'd say, where were you at Sunday? So it became this, and I want to say that probably went on for 5+ years, maybe 10 years, but it went on. I would catch him on Sundays at his office. So he was definitely a wealth of knowledge.
What did they pass? Did they already have services for him?
Somebody, Rick had said it today, but somebody reached out to me 3 or 4 days ago. So that's all I got.
All right, motions, payment to Youngblood Paving for 2025 road paving project. Whitney.
In accordance with the Borough Engineer's written recommendation, I move that Beaver Borough Council issue payment to Youngblood Paving Inc. for invoice number 2025-1803 in a total amount of $288,213.70, with reimbursements from Columbia Gas in the amount of $48,285.47, and the Beaver Borough Municipal Authority in the amount of $33,407.97.
Okay, can I Any questions or comments? All right, moving on with the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. All right, our final motion this evening is the advertisement of the 2025 budget.
I move that Beaver Borough Council authorize the advertisement of the draft 2026 general fund budget for adoption at the December 9th, 2025 council meeting.
And I said 25, I meant 26. I should have my glasses off. What do you guys? All right, can I get a second for the motion, please?
I'll second.
All right, thank you. Any questions, comments? Going once, going twice? All right, we're moving forward with the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.